So I was doing a VOD review on the Rulers of Helios, right, in the LPL. It was JDG against LNG in their playoff run. And I noticed some things that he's doing really well that I think we can all learn from. Gonna go through 3 like kind of simple, hard to master things, but really easy to learn concepts that can help you carry a teamfight harder. I know sometimes as playing AD carry in teamfights, especially when you're mobile, maybe your team is not peeling you, maybe you know you kind of feel like you cannot do damage. But I promise you, if you take care of these 3 things, you're gonna be able to carry teamfights a lot harder. So the first thing that Ruler does, and what we have to do, and what he does really well, is take care of all the positions on the enemy team. You need to figure this out before you can start to analyze how to play the fight out, right? So here, he sees Cassante and nothing else, right? So they're starting up the Drake. The thing that he has going for him is that he knows already that prior, like on the wave before, LNG took control of River. So he knows that like someone is probably around here. There's also Hextech Soul, right, so they can take the gate. He now spots Cassante, he now spots Saya on the minimap, he spots Wukong, and then he also spots Nico flying towards the flank, right? So he knows that something is fishy going on around here, which is why the pings are going down. And he's just playing this really, really patiently, because once again, he has no mobility on his champion, and that's why he's playing this fight. Look how far away he is actually from the fight, but if he was standing here, he will just be dead in this fight, and JDG will probably lose out. So what he does here is just playing it really, really patiently. He is tracking, which is like the second point of this, he's tracking cooldowns of the enemy threats, which is, in this case, obviously, Rakan ultimate, Nico flank with the Nico ulti. Once these 2 tools are down, he can start to play the fight way more aggressively. And that's kind of what we have to do. We have to figure out what threats and what cooldowns rather, what abilities are key for the enemy team to be able to catch me. And then we have to play around that, right? So he's counting here, he's Rakan using ultimate, he knows Nico is coming too, but he knows that he cannot get one-shot by this because his whole team is peeling him here. He's so far away from the fight that he can play this really, really slow and wait for them to make the mistakes, right? So they are forced to go on him here, but you see how safe he is. He even gets caught by the Nico ultimate. But now, all of these engaged tools are done, right? He's full HP still, has flash, has gale force, and this is because he is really, really patient in these fights. So now he can start to take over, right? Now the fight is looking, obviously, it's already won for JDG by the looks of it, right? Because of the fact that they couldn't get the first strike done on either Jace or Aphelios. And this looks really, really simple, but if you can do these things, take care of positioning, track cooldowns, and then of course clean up or punish those cooldowns when they are finally being used, right? That is like the key on how to play this game out as AD carry. It sounds really simple. I know it's not. There's a lot of things you have to take care of in the game, and there's a lot of chaos. But what you see him did here, it looked really, really simple, right? And this is just because he's doing this super, super well. But it didn't look like it was anything like rocket science, right? He was just playing his rollout, and he was just aware of the flanks. And I think this is the biggest thing why a lot of people are getting caught, is that they're not taking into consideration when the fight is starting. They're not looking enough on the minimap. They're not taking care of, like, where is the enemy threats? What cooldowns do they have to the arsenal in this game that I have to wait until they're being used before I can start to walk up and pressure the fight and clean up, right?